Chosen one, you need to hear this. This is not a motivational speech. This is not religious hype. This is a divine wake-up call from heaven itself. You are standing on holy ground right now. Heaven has cleared the noise just for you to hear this. Not for entertainment, not for excitement, but for awakening. The earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface, and God said, "Let there be light." You see, God didn't wait for perfection to speak. He didn't show up when things were shining. He showed up when it was dark, when it was chaotic, when it was broken, when there was nothing left to stand on. And hear me well, he's doing it again right now, but this time it's for you. You've been pacing floors at night, wondering if heaven heard your whispers. You've been smiling in front of others, but wrestling behind closed doors. You've been asking, not always out loud, God, when will it be my turn? And the silence has been heavy, hasn't it? But I need you to lean in and listen close, because I'm not giving you emotion, I'm giving you revelation. Heaven is answering today. Arise, shine, your light has come. The glory of the Lord rises upon you. That's not poetry, that's prophecy. You were never made to shrink back. You were never created to play small. You were not built for the background. You were born to rise. I don't care how many times you've been overlooked. I don't care how long it's taken. Delay is not denial. You hear me? Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. God has a pattern he hides what he's preparing to reveal in power. Don't believe me? Ask David. He was out in the fields smelling like sheep, while God was anointing him for the throne. Ask Joseph. The pit didn't cancel the promise. The prison didn't erase the dream. It was all part of the process. And so is your silence, so is your season. He hid you because he's protecting the purity of your purpose. He concealed you because exposure too early would have crushed you. He isolated you, not to punish you, but to prepare you. While you felt forgotten, God was building foundation. While you were wondering if you'd missed it, heaven was marking your moment, this one, right here, right now. So stop looking at the delay like it's defeat. It's not, it's development. God was shaping your character so you could carry the call. Because he doesn't just give you the blessing, he builds you to be able to handle it. He doesn't want you to just reach the promise, he wants you to remain in it. That takes time, that takes fire, that takes pruning. But hear me, he makes all things beautiful in his time, and now, that time is near. This is not just another opportunity. This is an appointed moment. You've been crushed but not destroyed. You've been delayed but not denied. You've been trained in the shadows for a victory in the spotlight. This is not a rehearsal. This is the release. Chosen one, do it fast. Heaven will not repeat itself again. This word wasn't meant to echo, it was meant to ignite. You've got confirmation now. You've got the clarity. So move, step, speak, build, obey. The door is open, and this time it won't stay open long. Chosen one, you need to hear this. This is not a motivational speech. This is not religious hype. This is a divine wake-up call from heaven itself. You are standing on holy ground right now. First, I want you to do 3 things to awaken the energy of this moment. Pause this video, hit the like button so this message reaches other chosen souls, and subscribe to join thousands of radiant spirits walking this divine path. Then, type the number 777 in the comments below. This is a powerful symbol of spiritual alignment and divine favor. When you do this, you're sending a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive everything God has prepared for you. If you are truly one of the chosen, you will stay with me until the very end, because your soul already knows this truth is meant just for you. What looked like rejection was actually redirection. Sit with that, let it echo through the chambers of your spirit. What broke you didn't bury you, it blessed you, but you didn't see it then, did you? No, in the moment, all you saw was the door closing. You saw the opportunity pass. You saw them walk away, the job fall through, the dream stall. You heard the no and thought it meant never. But what if I told you it wasn't rejection? It was divine strategy. You cried over it, you questioned it, you maybe even got angry at God about it, but now you're starting to see something shifting. Because if you rewind the tape, if you really trace the moments, you'll realize some of your greatest accelerations came right after the greatest disappointments. The heartbreak pushed you to heal, the betrayal taught you to discern, the failure made you go deeper. Rejection removed what was not aligned with your destiny. You thought they didn't choose you because you weren't enough. But in truth, God was protecting you from misalignment. He was making space for better. He wasn't just protecting your purpose. He was pruning your path, and pruning hurts. It cuts away. It removes what no longer serves where you're headed. But it's never punishment. It's always preparation. God didn't shut that door to stop you. He shut it because it wouldn't take you where you were born to go. And listen to me. When you are chosen, you are not allowed to settle. God's not going to let you build a life beneath your calling. That's why it didn't work out. That's why the plans failed. That's why the people left. Because had they stayed, they would have become the lid on your legacy. And your legacy is too important to be limited. You see, redirection is a higher form of mercy. It's God grabbing the steering wheel when you're headed off a cliff. It's the divine reroute when you're taking paths that would drain your spirit, not develop it. And yes, it's confusing at first. Yes, it feels unfair, but hindsight is holy. You'll look back and praise God not just for what He gave, but for what He withheld. So dry your eyes, chosen one. Stop asking why they rejected you. Start thanking God they did. Start thanking Him for every closed door, every unfollow, every unreturned call, every no that made room for a better yes. Because when people reject you, God redirects you toward people who recognize you. When the wrong thing falls apart, it's because the right thing is falling together. You weren't overlooked, you were redirected, you weren't discarded, you were delivered, and this shift you're feeling right now. It's not your imagination, it's your elevation. Chosen one, I need you to hear this, that rejection wasn't the end. It was the beginning of your becoming. Heaven never wastes a wound. What looked like rejection was heaven's redirection, and you are right on schedule for what God is about to release. Chosen one, you need to hear this. This is not a motivational speech. This is not religious hype. This is a divine wake-up call from heaven itself. You are standing on holy ground right now. You were hidden, not forgotten. You were being prepared. That's the kind of truth that doesn't shout. It whispers. It hums in the background of long nights when the silence feels like abandonment and the waiting feels like punishment. But listen to me now. God never forgets what He hides. He hides what He treasures. He conceals what He's shaping. And if you've been tucked away, overlooked, under-celebrated, passed by, you are exactly where He wants you. You see, there's a difference between being buried and being planted. Both are underground, both are hidden from sight, but one is forgotten and the other is growing. And chosen one, you have not been buried, you have been planted. You've been placed in the soil of silence so your roots could run deep. So your character could match your calling, so your foundation could carry the future glory. You thought you were in the dark because you were lost, but the truth is, God was developing you in the secret place. The spotlight can be seductive. It can call to your ego before your spirit is ready. That's why God keeps the chosen ones low before He brings them high. That's why He silences the noise so you can hear only Him. Because if you build a platform before you build a prayer life, the wind will knock it all down. So He keeps you hidden, not to punish, but to preserve, not to reject, but to refine. You don't prepare warriors on the battlefield. You prepare them in the training ground. You prepare them in the trenches. Think about Moses. He was hidden in a basket, hidden in the palace, hidden in the wilderness for years. Why? Because his destiny was too weighty to be rushed. David didn't become king the moment he was anointed. He went right back to the sheep. The oil was on him, but he still had to serve in silence. And don't forget about Jesus. 30 years of obscurity before 3 years of ministry. If the Son of God had to be hidden before being revealed, why do we think our process should be instant? The hiding isn't punishment, It's proof that you're chosen. God is too intentional to waste time. Every season of silence has a purpose. Every moment of nothing happening is actually something very important happening. You're being fortified. You're being tested, but more importantly, you're being trusted. Trusted with stillness, trusted with not yet. Trusted to stay faithful even when there's no applause, no spotlight, no open door in sight. Because if you can worship while you're hidden, you'll carry glory when you're revealed. This is where strength is built, in obscurity, when no one's watching, when you've got no one to impress, just God to obey. It's in the quiet corners of your life that greatness is formed. God's not just preparing the platform for you. He's preparing you for the platform. And He refuses to send you unready into a destiny that requires fire-tested faith. He won't launch you until you're anchored. He won't reveal you until your soul is aligned. So don't curse the cave. Don't despise the desert. It's not exile. It's education. It's not rejection. It's formation. What you thought was the end of your story was the beginning of your legacy. God is hiding you because what He's placed in you is sacred. And when the time is right, when the season shifts, when your roots are deep enough and your heart is strong enough, He will bring you forth, not as a novice, but as a warrior, not as a wanderer, but as one who knows who they are and whose they are. Chosen one, you need to hear this. This is not a motivational speech. This is not religious hype. This is a divine wake-up call from heaven itself. You are standing on holy ground right now. Delay is not denial. That sentence alone could set someone free right now. Because somewhere along the way, you began to believe that the longer it takes, the less likely it becomes. You started to equate time with abandonment. You started looking at the calendar like it had more authority than the calling. But let me remind you, God does not operate on human clocks. He does not panic when deadlines pass. He's not rushed by pressure or shaken by silence. What feels like delay to you is often divine timing at work. You prayed, but it didn't happen. You believed, but the doors didn't open. You fasted, you stayed faithful. You held the vision in your heart even when everything around you looked the opposite. And still, nothing moved. And you began to whisper within yourself, maybe God changed His mind. Maybe I missed it. Maybe this dream was never meant for me. But the devil is a liar, and delay is not denial. There's something about waiting that refines the soul. It stretches your faith. It purifies your motives. It teaches you to trust what you heard, not just what you see, because the vision always shows up before the manifestation. God gives you the glimpse before He gives you the release. And then He watches. Will you hold it close when everything around you screams, it's not going to happen? Will you walk like it's coming even when nothing in your world confirms it? That's faith. That's maturity. And that's what God builds in the delay. Think about Abraham. God told him he'd be the father of nations. But the promise didn't show up the next day. It didn't show up the next year. It was decades before Isaac came. And yet God never forgot. His word never returned void, because when God speaks, it's a matter of when, not if. But sometimes He uses delay to teach you how to walk by the word, not by sight. He uses time to deepen your trust so you won't abort the promise halfway through the process. Delay also protects what you call wasted time. God calls strategic preparation. Sometimes you're not waiting on the promise. The promise is waiting on you. You think you're ready, but God knows what's on the other side. He sees the weight of it. He sees the warfare connected to your next level, and He loves you too much to give you something before your character is strong enough to carry it. You don't put a 10-ton blessing on a foundation that can only hold 5. He's strengthening your frame so the blessing doesn't crush you when it comes. There's a version of you that can only be formed in delay. That patience, that wisdom, that discernment, it comes from this. From these exact moments when it feels like nothing is happening. But behind the scenes, God is moving pieces you can't see. He's aligning people, opening doors, closing wrong ones, clearing space for the arrival of what he promised you. Just because it's taking longer than you thought doesn't mean it's not coming. It means it's coming correct, God's way, not yours. So stop interpreting silence as absence. Stop confusing God's pace with God's presence. He's still with you. He's never left, not for 1 second. And the delay you're in right now is evidence that what's coming is worth it. Heaven doesn't rush masterpieces. It crafts them. And you, chosen one, are being crafted for glory. You are standing on holy ground. This is not hype. It's a wake-up call. Don't scroll past that. Don't treat it like another inspirational line floating in your feed. Let that truth shake you awake. Right now, in this moment, wherever you are, whether it's your living room, your car, your bedroom, your break room, heaven has marked that place as sacred. Why? Because you are hearing this. And when heaven speaks, the ground becomes holy. When divine instruction enters the atmosphere, something ordinary becomes supernatural. God is not in the business of wasting words. When he speaks, it's because there's an assignment, a shift, a release. And chosen one, you're not hearing this by accident. The distractions have been silenced. The noise around you has been cleared. You may not even know how you got here, but heaven does, because this is not for everybody. This moment is not for the curious. It's for the called, not for the casual, but for the committed. You're not just listening to a message, you're standing at the edge of destiny, and God is not going to repeat himself again. When God told Moses to take off his sandals because he was on holy ground, it wasn't just about reverence. It was about recognition. Moses had to become aware of the sacredness of the moment. He had to understand that something bigger than him was unfolding. That's what God is asking from you right now. Wake up, pay attention, strip off your distractions, shake off the spiritual sleep. What you're standing in isn't normal, it's divine. This is not entertainment. This is not spiritual background noise. You are being summoned. You are being activated. God has been patient with your procrastination, but the season of excuses is over. The mercy that covered your delay will not cover your disobedience. You can't ignore the call anymore. You can't mute the mandate. This is not a season to wander. This is a season to move. You have to step when he says step, build when he says build, speak when he says speak. And you must do it fast. Every chosen one has a defining moment, a divine disruption that stops everything, that breaks routine, that arrests your heart and says now, no more waiting, no more hiding, no more doubting. This is yours. The moment the heavens shift and release the command, go. Now do it. And if you hesitate, you may miss it. If you delay, you may disconnect from the divine timing. Because when the cloud moves, you move. When the wind of God blows, you must catch it. Too many have treated their calling like it's optional, like God's instruction is just a suggestion. But this is different. This is holy. This is set apart. And heaven is watching how you respond. You're not standing on holy ground so you can feel spiritual. You're standing here because there's something you need to do, something you need to release, something you need to birth. The world is waiting on what heaven deposited in you, and the longer you stall, the longer the world stays starving for what you carry. You may not feel qualified, you may not feel ready, but obedience has never been about your feelings. It's about your faith, and faith moves fast when God speaks. He will not repeat himself again. The instruction is clear, the call is loud, the time is now, not tomorrow, not next year. Now, the world is waiting on what God put inside of you. Move fast. That's the kind of statement that can either ignite your spirit or intimidate it. Some of you may feel the weight of that, thinking, how can the world possibly be waiting on me? I'm just one person, just one story, just one dream. But let me remind you, God doesn't make mistakes and he doesn't make small calls. If he's put something in you, it's meant for all the world to experience, and yes, I'm talking to you. The world is waiting on your voice. The world is waiting on your movement. The world is waiting on your faith to be put into action. We have to start understanding the magnitude of that responsibility. The earth is waiting for the manifestation of what you've been carrying. Your purpose, your unique calling, the way you were created. There's something in you that the world cannot thrive without. It's not a coincidence that you're alive in this moment. It's not by accident that you've been placed in this time, in this season. God knew exactly when to bring you into the world. He knew exactly where to put you. And everything you've been through, everything you've endured, has been a preparation for this moment. There are people out there, lost, searching, struggling, who are connected to what you carry. They are waiting for you to step into your divine assignment so they can be freed, healed, or awakened. You are not just living for yourself. You are living for them. Your actions, your obedience, your courage are the catalysts for someone else's breakthrough. Think about that. What if your decision to step out in faith could change someone else's life forever? What if your refusal to stay hidden could impact generations to come? The weight of that responsibility is not to scare you, it's to empower you. The world isn't waiting on a better version of you. It's waiting on the authentic you. The world doesn't need a copy. It needs your truth. But you can't wait around. You can't sit on the sidelines anymore. It's time to move fast. The window of opportunity isn't always open forever. The urgency you're feeling, the stirring in your spirit, is God's timing knocking at your door. This is the moment when the grace of God meets the action of your obedience. It's a divine collision, and if you hesitate, you risk missing out on everything He's prepared for you. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I'm not ready yet. I haven't figured it all out. I'm still working on myself. Let me stop you right there. God doesn't need you to have it all figured out. He doesn't need you to be perfect. He just needs you to be willing. He needs you to be obedient. He needs you to trust that He's already gone ahead of you. He's already cleared the path. He's already made a way where there was no way. Your job is to move when He says move, step when He says step, speak when He says speak. The rest will fall into place. The world doesn't need more hesitation, more doubt, more fear. It needs more action, more courage, more faith that steps out before the miracle is fully visible. The world is waiting on you to be the first to say, I believe, when everyone else says, it's too risky. It's waiting on you to start something when it looks like nothing is happening. It's waiting on you to stand tall and say, here I am, God, send me. And when you do that, when you move fast, the doors that you never thought would open will swing wide. The connections you never imagined will come into alignment. The people you were meant to serve will find you, because when you step into your purpose, heaven backs you up. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for everything to line up. The moment is now. The timing is now. You're not just a random player in the game of life. You're the chosen one, and the world is waiting on what God put inside of you. Move fast, don't hold back, don't shrink back, the time is now. Chosen one, you need to hear this. This is not a motivational speech. This is not religious hype. This is a divine wake-up call from heaven itself. You are standing on holy ground right now.